Hi everyone, today I have another speed build for you. This time I'm focusing on creating a house for animal lovers. I'm using content only from the base game and then from cats and dogs and my first pet stuff. I actually looked at a reference photo of a house that was, I searched East Coast style homes, so it's kind of, I guess it has like an East Coast kind of style appearance or like appearance to it, but I'll share the reference photo here so you can see what I'm talking about. But honestly, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm still kind of figuring out how to put roofs on homes and doing it in a specific way, or trying to attain any kind of certain look. So I don't know what prompted me to try to create something that was so difficult. I really struggled with getting the shell of this house completed before I could start on the interior. And when you look at the photo, it looks pretty difficult, so I don't know why I thought I should try to do it. After being completely stressed out for about an hour and a half, I think I got to a point where I was okay with it, but I honestly almost gave up. I almost just said, never mind, I'm just gonna do something else. But since I got that far and I was able to kind of get it to work, there's one part in each of the bedrooms where the roof still kind of cuts through the wall. But I don't know, if you know how to fix it, if you download it, then of course you can do it. But I was just really trying my best, and I think it turned out okay in the end anyway. So I usually try to edit my voiceovers a lot, because not only do I usually kind of change what I'm saying halfway through a sentence, but I say and but and so a lot, and also my voice cracks a lot. But I'm trying to make it fast today because it's my little boy's birthday, and I'm trying to hurry up and get this done because I don't want to have to sit there and edit through the audio a whole bunch. And yeah, so because we're trying to spend time together and make sure that my boy enjoys his day, since we can't actually take him to go anywhere or have any kind of party with him with all this quarantine stuff going on. So, and I also don't have a really good mic or a place where I can record, so I have to close myself in my kid's room, and I use my phone to record my audio, and then I just email it to myself and download it on my laptop to import it into Premiere Pro. So just a warning, or I guess I'm just apologizing for any kind of background noise you might hear in the process. At some point you might hear the dogs bark, and I don't know, there's usually a lot of noise going on, but I'm really trying to make it so that I don't have to edit my voiceover that much today. And I'm really trying to talk faster. I'm usually really stumbling on what I should say for my voiceovers, but anyways, you'll start to see me work on the landscaping for the house. I didn't really know which direction I should go as far as the landscaping for this house in particular, because I wanted to make it animal friendly. I knew I wanted to include some of the animal what are they called, obstacle course things, but I didn't know how I was gonna make the landscape look around that. So I actually saved the backyard for last, because I really, like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna do. But I ended up going for a more structured kind of look, using the hedges and things like that, because since the house is very symmetrical, I figured they probably keep their yard kind of symmetrical looking too. I didn't make it perfect or anything like that, but honestly, I don't like when the landscaping looks super stiff and clean cut and everything like that. I like things that look a little bit more natural, a little bit more wild, I guess. But once I'm able to actually figure out how to get the roof to not cut through the entire second floor, that's when I actually go in to start working on the floor plan. But it took me over an hour, like I said before, an hour and a half, I think, just to get to a point where I was able to go in and start working on the floor plan. You know, the roof, like I said, it's not perfect, but I mean, you might be able to tell how it's kind of cutting through the room a little bit once I start working on the floor plan. I just had to deal with it because I was getting so frustrated. I was getting so stressed out. But I already spent so much time on this that I didn't want to just give up. So you see, like, when I start working on the floor plan too, I didn't really know which direction I want to go as far as where I should put everything. I was thinking trying to keep it a little bit more, I guess, a classic floor plan. I mean, I don't know if that's an actual thing, but, you know, like having the kitchen and dining room on one side and then the living room on the other side. And, but one of the things that frustrated me the most when I was creating this is that I kept having to filter out the objects. Like, whenever I would change the filter to only include the content that I was looking for, like with the packs I mentioned, it kept unfiltering. So I don't know if it was like based on, you know, like me moving from the build stuff to the buy stuff, but it kept unfiltering, and I was getting so irritated because I'd have to go back through and filter everything out again just to make sure that I didn't accidentally use something from a different stuff pack or expansion pack or whatever. So yeah, you might notice it every now and then, but I really had to speed up this build a lot. Usually I think I speed up the clips like by 10 times the speed, but this one I had to do 15 times the speed because there's so much of me just like scrolling through all this stuff and filtering out stuff and changing things, and I was just struggling. I was having such a hard time with this build, but I actually ended up really liking this house, although I don't think it shows in the video. I think it cut off right at the end, but I actually ended up going back and changing the what's it called, the area rug in the kitchen. I didn't like it when I was looking at the screenshots from the above view of the house. I really didn't like the way it looked with the orange carpet that I originally put in the kitchen when I was decorating it. So I ended up changing that at the last second, so you won't see it actually in the video, but you might see it in the screenshots, I think. So anyways, the kind of look I was going for with this house was you know, just, I guess, kind of basic. I wanted to use a lot of earth tones. Like in the kitchen, you see I'm using some oranges and things like that, with a little bit of blue on the walls. And I think I keep everything else pretty neutral. Like I use the light tones, like light to medium tones of wood throughout the house. And then I have a lot of like greens and some blues, a lot of tan, I guess. And you know, I just I wanted to make sure I was using a lot of stuff that indicates that there's animals there though, or that the owners love animals. So I use a lot of like artwork or like paintings and photographs that have animals in them, like dogs and cats and stuff. So and then I used a lot of the statues. Honestly, one of my favorite part of decorating the living room, you'll see when it comes up, is I use a bunch of those statues of the cats and dogs, and I love that there's so many different swatches for them, so it's not just one color of dog or you know, like one type of cat. Like there's a Siamese cat, a tabby cat, a calico cat. So I really love that, and it was so cute, I think, how it turned out when I put the statues in the living room. But for like the front area, yeah, I just wanted something that kind of was like inviting, like an area where it was just, you know, like, welcome to our house. And I wanted to make sure I had that shelf that has the leashes and everything on it, and I end up putting another cat and dog statue on that like kind of table in the front too. And I finally figured out how to adjust like the placement of objects, like the clutter items, when putting it on a surface. I finally figured out how to do it without needing that CC, the red shelf thing or whatever. So you'll see me when I actually add the statues to the table in the front area. That's when I figure out how to do it, and I was so excited. So, oh my gosh. So when I was trying to figure out like how I should section off the rooms and everything, the like back area of the house where the back door is, I actually intended that to be like a mudroom / laundry room, But right when I was gonna go and start furnishing it and, you know, like designing the laundry area and stuff like that, I realized I can't use the laundry stuff because the laundry day pack is completely separate from the, you know, cats and dogs and or my first pet stuff. So I had to scratch that idea altogether, and I ended up just making it like a little area for the cat and dog, or cats and dogs, to hang out and everything. You'll see like one side has all the cats items, and then the other side has all the dogs items. I figured it ended up being a good idea. Like, at least, you know, the animals can hang out there, like that's their own space, and then they can go outside whenever they want in the backyard and use the, what is it called? I can never remember what that word is called. The obstacle course. The obstacle course stuff. So yeah, I think that ended up being alright. I put the kennel there like as a decoration kind of, but then I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't put that there. And I tried to delete it, but I could not. It kept saying this item can't be deleted, and I was freaking out. I was like, man, I don't want it there anymore. But then after I saved the house and I went back in to build on it some more later, and it was gone. It had just disappeared. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's like one of those things that I guess you have no actions for it, so it'll just go away on its own or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I was so relieved that that wasn't there for the finalized house. But anyways, so while I'm decorating the living room here, I don't know if I recorded, but I end up changing the curtains a little bit. I ended up switching out for the ones that were yellow and blue striped because I really wanted to bring in that nice muted blue tone of the couch, but I also wanted to incorporate some of the green and the kind of, I don't know, is that like a brownish color or maroonish color in the wallpaper? So that's why I chose the rug that you see there. I love that it's like the green and maroonish color. So and I added some plants. I kind of kept the same plants throughout the whole build because I didn't want to use anything that was too big, and I didn't want the other ones that looked too stiff. So I found a couple of the plants that I liked, and I just decided to use them randomly throughout the house. So you'll see a lot of the same plants. Sorry if that's annoying to anybody, and I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking right now. And then also I added some of the animals' toys and stuff here and there in the living room because I figured it makes sense if you know they want to be in the same area as everyone else, like in the living room and stuff. They have their own stuff there to keep them busy, and you know, I didn't want to keep everything just in that back room. I wanted to be obvious that the animals pretty much have full reign of the house, or you know, like they can go anywhere they want. And actually, I don't know if you noticed, but when I was designing the bathroom downstairs, that's kind of like the animals' bathroom. Like, of course not only for them, but I put like the animal rug, and then like the paw print rug, and I put the cats and dogs stickers around or I don't know, are they called stickers or decals on the wall around the bathtub, because you need a bathtub in order to give the animals a bath. So I didn't want to just put a shower or anything in there. I made sure it was a bath downstairs. Oh yeah, and then I was adjusting the front area. Every now and then I go back and forth around to other rooms and I add things or change things, so you'll see that every now and then. And then I was adding more to the front. I go in and out of the house a lot because I like, as I'm going through all the items, when I see something that I want to put somewhere in the house, I'll go and put it before I forget where I found it. So that's what I do a lot in this build. And then I was working on the back a little bit, I think, before I started upstairs, because I was kind of over working on the inside for a while. The inside, decorating that whole bottom floor took me quite some time. I want to say it took me almost 2 hours, something like that, because there's so much space, you know? And so it really took me a long time to try to decorate everything in a way that I was satisfied with. But then when I started on the backyard, I was so stumped as to what I should do for the backyard still that after just putting those, you know, bushes here and there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this later because I really need to think about what I want to do in the backyard before I just sit there and scroll through a bunch of stuff and not do anything, because that would have been really boring for you guys seeing like a time lapse of nothing happening. So oh, and the bathroom upstairs, I was really happy with this bathroom. I know it might sound weird, but I've never done that thing where you use like the half wall and stuff to separate the toilet from anything, and I thought it was so cool that I did that. It's, you know, I mean, like a small achievement for me, I guess. I don't know. And I was really iffy about using these brighter curtains in this this landing area above the stairs because they were so bright compared to everything else. And you'll see that I have like more of like the cat's play area and everything up there. So in a way I didn't mind so much because it's kind of like, oh, this is the animals' space again. It's their room up here, without it actually being a bedroom. So, but yeah, I thought that was a cute little area and perfect to have all the cats' things there, or like that big, I don't know what it's called, I forget what it's called, but that big like scratching posts type jungle gym thing. I think that is such a neat thing to have in the game for the animals. I kind of wish that they had dog houses or something. Why don't they have dog houses? That would be perfect. And then you can put that in the backyard, just, you know, to add something, I guess, to the backyard too, or like dog houses, or yeah, something like that. I think that would be so neat, and that would be a perfect opportunity to have like a miniature of whatever house you're building, like having a miniature of that for the dog in the backyard. At least I would like that. I think that'd be really awesome. But yeah, when I was doing the kids' room, I wanted to keep it kind of neutral. I don't know if it came out that way, but because, you know, I use like a lot of red and blue and black and white, so I guess you could say it's designed more for a boy in that way, but at the same time I don't really think it's boy specific. I would say that a girl could use that room too, or, you know, whoever. Or if you wanted to even add an extra bed, I think there's room in that bedroom. I mean, it's not the biggest room in the world, but I think you could still fit 2 beds in there if you wanted to play this house with a family of 4 instead of just 3. I only designed the room to have 1 kid just because, you know, but of course you could make it for 2 kids if you wanted, or even, you know, have more adults or whatever in the house, or teenagers or something like that. Oh, and then the kids room has a little balcony area too, but I didn't when you see the screenshots later, I didn't bother taking a picture of the kids balcony. I just included the parents because honestly the kids balcony wasn't anything super great. So when I'm decorating the parents' room, you can see again the roof is kind of sticking there above. You can see it's kind of sticking inside the wall, but I don't know how to fix that. I kept trying and messing with it and undoing it, but I couldn't get it to a point where it wasn't sticking into the wall, but it wasn't not connected outside, you know what I'm saying, like to the other part of the roof. So I was really irritated with that, and I'm sorry if it bothers anyone. But yeah, so I want to take decorating the parents' room. I wanted to include more of those animal statues because I just really wanted, you know, to show again more of the love for the animals inside the bedrooms. But for the parents' furniture, it didn't have as many things that look you know, like not so kid-like with, you know, with animals and stuff on it. So the only way I felt I could bring that look of loving animals into the parents' room is if I just put the statues there instead of using like paw print sheets or something like that. I still wanted it to look somewhat sophisticated, you know what I mean? And and so on the parents' balcony, I just put, you know, a simple chair and a table, and I think I put a little coffee mug on the table. Honestly, I don't know if it's gonna go bad, like if you download it and then it ends up like getting all stinky and old, just delete it. But I put it out there for, you know, just to show what it could be used for. And and then I'm just doing some finishing touches like around the house, and then I work on the backyard. And you know, and again for the back, I wanted to make the bushes and everything look somewhat symmetrical as far as the placement or design of everything against the house, but I also didn't want it to look too stiff, so I just kind of use like random placement for all the bushes and flowers, but I still kept the bushes and flowers that I use the same thing on both sides. So Yeah, and then I really like that I added the kind of dirt path around the animals' obstacle course things, because I feel like that really makes it look more realistic. Like the animals run around it so much that you can see the trail that they take. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a neat touch. I don't know. And then for that one corner, when I put the tree there with all the like flowers and rocks around behind the bench, I just wanted to put something in that corner, but I didn't want it to be anything for the animals. I just kind of wanted to put a place for the people to kind of sit and lounge outside and maybe watch their dogs or whatever use the obstacle course. So yeah, and I really love that pebble path that I used. But anyways, the screenshots are coming up, so I will close this out, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.